Hi, my name is Ben Dubard, and we're here at my farm, Five Leaves Farm. We have a CSA program here, and this year we're shooting for 50 members. A CSA is a system or a program whereby interested people in the community, consumers or shareholders or whatever you want to call them, buy a share in our farm for a season, and then they get deliveries of fresh vegetables from the farm each week for the duration of whatever season they've signed up for. And the reason behind this idea of a CSA is that the farm is helped out because we get the money directly from the consumer and we get it in advance. So that allows us then to go out and plant these crops for these people and to plan for what we want to plan and do for the season. And then the customer, on the other hand, gets the freshest possible produce. They know exactly where it's coming from. They know exactly how it's grown. And it really is a system that has benefited a lot of small farms and helped them economically, and also helped a lot of consumers, too, learn more about where their food is coming from. Okay, this is our greenhouse, and we try to keep things small and efficient here. So we're sort of small. I think we'll need a bigger greenhouse next year if we keep growing. I got a bunch of onions started. This is just under 2,000 onions we have started. This is one of our first crops we start in the greenhouse. And of course we start it here and then we plant out into the garden later. I've got some little tomatoes coming up here. These were just planted at the end of last week, and some peas that we're starting. And there's other crops I'm going to be starting every day now. The days are getting longer. We have much more stuff coming along. There's a real neat system we use here called a soil block. And it's really nice because a soil block does not have any plastic container. So I'm able to get rid of all the plastic that is usually all around most farms. It's a very efficient method. I have a form work that I use to punch out these out of potting soil. It forms this neat little block, and then I just put the seeds in there and they come up. This gets planted directly in the ground, so there's no waste. It's a very efficient system, and it's very good for a small farm like us. We have an automatic irrigation system, which hopefully won't go off right while I'm talking, or we'll be running so we won't get wet. And we'll use a small heater to just keep it above freezing in here, and a household fan to vent the hot air. So if you've ever seen a contour map, that means a level line across the landscape. So this bed is pretty much level. And what that does, it allows us to farm on a slope like this. If you were to plow up and down, you would have terrible erosion because the water, when it begins to run down the slope, it would just pick up speed. But these break the path of the water and let the water soak into the soil. So it's sort of a moisture conserving method as well. And I really like the way they've worked out. There are some drawbacks. A flat site is always easier and better, but we took what we had and worked with it, and it's worked out pretty well. Okay, so here we have our new field. We broke ground on this maybe 2-3 weeks ago with my dad's tractor. And what we're looking to do eventually is to replace actions like plowing, tilling, fertilizing. For instance, if I want to fertilize this, I have to take perhaps hundreds of wheelbarrow loads of compost and spread it out here. So instead of doing all that work mechanically or with my back or whatever, I am trying to take this farm in a different direction and have animals, by doing what they naturally do jobs such as tilling and fertilizing. For instance, if I had a pig here, if I penned a pig in this area for, say, 6 months, and I gave it some feed, it would automatically do its own spreading of fertilizer as it walked around and peed and pooped in the field. It would also till, because if you've ever watched a pig in a field, it likes to root up things. So what direction we're heading in at this farm is to get animals to do the tillage and the weeding and the fertilizing instead of my having to use my own strength or a fossil fuel or a big tractor to do it. So as time goes by, you'll be seeing more of those systems implemented on the